minuscule like rejections in life, like these little things. Kadosh Baruch Hu is saying, listen, it's a little border. I just want you to skip over because I'm right there on the other side. I'm in the mania. I'm standing there. I'm like, come on, man, just hug me. I'm right here. Hug me. There's a hidden light in these manias. I was thinking the other day, I go to my car and I'm carrying 50 things. Early in the morning, it's raining. I'm balancing my umbrella. I'm getting to the car and I'm like, okay, I'm by the car. I couldn't find parking. It was like 2 blocks. I had to walk. Finally get to the car. It's like early in the morning, And I'm like, okay, Gewalt. Where are the keys? Where are the keys? I left it in the house. So then I just started saying, Hashem, thank you. Just thanking Hashem, it's a kapara. He wants the best from me. I have to go through this little tikkun. He knows what he's doing. He's pulling strings. Let this be atonement for this, that. Let him get off easy. I started skipping back, I started singing, thank you very much, thank you very much, thank you very much, thank you very much. Yeah, beautiful. It's a very special moment. We can do. There's a hidden light in the Maniot. Rabbeinu teaches us. And that's what it says. There's another Torah that Rabbeinu says that there was an Anan, the cloud, and it says Moshe went into the cloud to speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So it says the cloud symbolizes cloudy. It symbolizes the Mania, the obstacles we go through. It says Moshe went in, and he spoke to God, because there's a level of godliness. Hashem's hidden in the Mania. You have to know. You just have to believe in yourself. I heard some tzaddikim in Eretz Yisrael were screaming that people want to run after segulas. Anybody that can learn art scroll Gemara today, he says anyone that can learn, you pick up Torah and you can learn. He says you have a power of the biggest tzaddikim. You have no idea.
Does it just have to be Gemara?
He used that example, but no. What do you mean? It says I think Rabbeinu even said that somebody who washes his hands until Yadayim for bread. I'm saying, I'm saying, besides if it's mazonos, but I'm saying, if you wash your hands for until Yadayim, right, and you do it correctly, you don't speak in between. You can be. I heard tzaddikim say that you could be on the level of the Baal Shem HaKadosh, whatever that means. It's mamish like we have no idea. Our koach, we're in such a darkness right now, Habibi. This darkness was never here before. They say, what's the darkest time of night? You think it's midnight, right? It's not.
Right before it gets light, no?
Right before it gets light.
It's always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah.
That's the classic line.
Mamish, you ever try that? You check it out. It's mamish black.
Is there a tikkun for being Mechal Shabbos?
Yeah, everything has a tikkun, Habibi. El Tidag.
Oh boy.
Everything has a tikkun. No worries. By Rabbeinu, everything.
No, this is one general remedy, man. Just a tikkun of Klali, bro. Like if we sat there and just tried figuring it out.
You should know. It says in Chazal that a person he's open. You follow, honestly, in Breslov, we say if you follow the eitzes of Rabbeinu B'Simcha, you move forward with the Torah of the Tzaddik, he'll take care of everything. Don't worry about it. You just be Makash yourself to the tzaddik, everything's going to be okay.
Nice.
That's the bottom line.
Score.
Totally. Without the tzaddik, well, what do we have? Moshe Rabbeinu can defend us. And Rabbeinu tells us, all these things that you see in the Kisvei Arizal, all the fasts, you have to do all the things. He says, I say you don't have to do that. Don't worry. Just go, besimcha, serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with joy, with positivity, follow the eitzos. Obviously, when we need to move away from bad and how to set up our lives, that we don't have pitfalls and we can move forward. And even if we fall, we get up and we start again. We follow the advice of the tzaddik that even if we feel rejected and even we still continue anyway. He says all these tikkunim become, it's nasa ma'atzmo, from itself. We don't have to chase all these things like I'm a yotze. EMUNA in yourself. Right. That's this song. Kadosh Baruch Hu loves me.
Right.
You have to be mechazik that.
Because I read somewhere you could car race for 16, 17 years or something.
So the Tosfos in Makos, I think it's Makos that says that you can do tshuva on kares. Kares you can do tshuva for. Yeah, it's true. Kares is very severe, and it's like this is good. What kares equals. You're right, but you can do tshuva for kares.
What's kares? We get disconnected?
Yeah, certain sins.
From the Jewish people. You're basically not a Jew.
No, I don't mean you're not a Jew.
Your mitzvahs are not worth what they used to be.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Your cutoff is kares is it's called cutoff from
But it's true for everything though.
No, certain mitzvot have it. Punishment is kares. Certain mitzvot, like eating chametz on Pesach, also
really?
is
So
kares.
we're all, I mean, I don't know about you, but
I'm just saying,
we all did our.
But Baruch Hashem,
fair
okay.
share.
Rabbeinu says, listen to this. Let's take this line slow. Okay, you've heard it 1,000 times. Let's say it again, just slow. Let's meditate on it. Imata ma'amin shecholim lekalkel. Seems you don't know it. Imata ma'amin shecholim lekalkel. If you believe that you can ruin, ta'amin, believe. Let's again that you can fix. If you believe that you can ruin, you said, well, yeah, I believe, dude, man, courage, man, yeah. Okay, dude, man, tshuva. What about that? What about tshuva? It says in Chazal that if you open a hole of a needle, it says into Kadosh Baruch Hu, chuto shel machat. It says, and then it says Kadosh Baruch Hu, he will potach lo kepitchol shel olam. He'll open for you like the opening the size of the world. You just need to move in the right direction. Hashem, I'm here. I want to do tshuva. Let's go. Let's move. Let's be together in Kadosh Baruch Hu. From now on, I want to keep halachas. I want to do my best. So, and it says in Reb Nosson says in Mashiach's Nefesh that even if a person falls again and again after that, and then he gets up again, he says, Hashem, I want to start again. He says if he does it sincerely, or really sincerely, he says it counts from every single time he started again. Even though he kept on falling, but every time he started, counted again. And you should know every beginning now gets accounted for him in the heavens, in a special deposit box. And when he needs it the most, when he needs help, and he needs like merits and he doesn't know what to do, HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses that, and they save this individual.
I heard also Averas turn into mitzvos.
Averas, yeah, that's a big pillar. Rabbeinu says that. He says that's if you could see Hashem's path of rachamim, it goes beyond our logic. Because how is it that okay, so you do tshuva, so the sins should be wiped out. That's tshuva meira. But tshuva ma'ahava, the Rambam says that's the key. But tshuva from love of God, you just want to be attached to Hashem without sophistication, with just simplicity and sincerity, like Rabbeinu's advice. Then what? Then your avirot can become zchuyot, merits for you. Wow. It's unbelievable. It's the Indian, it's the sort of yerida l'tzorach aliyah. It's the Indian of like how sometimes you go down in order to come higher. It's the secret of that, how everything can turn around for the best. Like Purim. Right? Everything, those very things that we thought that was Purim is a very serious message. A person could be like not holding with seichel, and that's usually the Satan comes during those times. That's usually when Amalek comes. But you have a Kadosh Baruch Hu everywhere. So let's finish. So it says over here again, V'aklal. Let's go from the beginning of that paragraph. V'aklal amuvan midvareinu sh'adam tzorich sheyelo emuna ba'atzma. A person has to have emuna in himself. Shegamu chaviv b'einei Hashem yisbarach. By the way, it says in the Gemara, I think it's in the end of Makot, that it says that in the future, before Mashiach comes, there's going to be a midah that's going to be the strongest midah in the world. It's going to be chutzpah. So they asked Reb Urla of Strelisk, he says, what does this mean, this Gemara? Like that, because every quality that we know that a person can have, potentially he could use for Kedusha also. So how could you use chutzpah?
If the Jews are not chutzpah, wouldn't be here.
What do you mean?
So I said, we were stubborn. Am Yisrael is a stubborn nation.
So he basically says what you're saying, but in different words. He says that the chutzpah at the end of time will be that a Jew he could fall in such impurity, and then right out after that he could come and say, Kodesh Baruch, I don't care, I know I messed up, but I want to start again, and I want you to love me and bring me close to you. That's a chutzpah. What do you mean? The angel's like, who is this guy? Look what he did. Hashem's like, no, fine. That you could use that quality to Kedusha.
We're like the spoiled kid,
Yeah. And bottom line is, Avinu Shoshaim, he's our father. You could demand that. The Moshe Weinberger said the famous story of the Baba Sali. Unbelievable. It's like a story. So the Baba Sali was at a table, and they used to do a Suda with the Baba Sali a lot. They used to do many, different occasions, Siyum and Yurtzites, and so it was one of those times. And then at one of these Sudas, there was a poor Sephardi man, an old man, and he said, Rabbi, he says, maybe you can daven for me. You could ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he can have compassion. He started saying his story that he was suffering and this, that, and health wise and all these things, and that they need parnasa and they're lacking parnasa, and Mamsh very it broke a lot of hearts when people heard that. It's very, very difficult to hear. And this Sephardi guy said it over to the Baba Sali in front of everybody. And the Baba Sali was like, he was nodding his head. And then all of a sudden, like his son-in-law walks in. His son-in-law walks in.
Baba Sali's son-in-law?
Yeah. And he said that, he says, who said that you're allowed to come in here? Who invited you to this? Like, he couldn't believe that. Baba never spoke to him like that. He's standing there. He says, but father, like. And he says, who invited you here? I'm asking a question. Answer me. Who told you that you can come here? And he's just standing there shocked. And he's like, I want you to repeat these words. He says, you should know that a son-in-law is like considered a son. And a son is allowed to walk into his father's house whenever he wants to. He doesn't have to have permission. He says, repeat that. And he repeated that. He said, a son is... And he says, say it again. He says, a son is considered... He said it 3 times. He says, okay, I want to say a tefillah now. And he turns to the wall and he screams to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem. He says, a son-in-law is considered like a son, and a son can walk inside whenever he wants to. He said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you've called us your children. We're like your children. So I'm your son. So I want to enter into the palace. I want to come to that place and sweeten judgments. That there should be sweet judgments on this Jew that's standing there, this poor Yid, and you should allow this tefillah to enter. You should let me into the chambers. And it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. We have to realize, we have to believe in ourselves. You know what I mean? Believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you don't believe in yourself, believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu that He loves you. Like, don't put your hope down on Hashem. You know what I'm saying? Like, our Father, He loves His Son. You know what I mean? Like, if a son comes and he's like, Abba, I messed up. Let me in. You know what I'm saying? Right. Anyway. So let's just finish. Okay. Ki lefi gedulas tovas shel Hashem yisbarach gam hu gadol v'chashuv be'einav yisbarach. Because according to the level of the power of Hashem's love, of His kindness, He's still considered beloved in Hashem's eyes. U'kavar mavur inyan zeh kama pa'amim she'ein zeh anava lios b'mochin dekatnus chas v'shalom u'tzirichim levakesh harbe Hashem yisbarach l'sikot l'darchei anava be'emes. He says you should know it's a big mistake. People think that it's anava, humility. Right, to be in the state of mochin dekadnus, that who am I? That's not anava. That's not humility. That's emuna. That's anava shel sheker.
Right, but there's probably a thin line between emuna in yourself and gaiva.
Okay. Fine.
If you could do it right, obviously, but
yes. You have to have emuna in yourself that you are beloved in Hashem's eyes. And it doesn't mean you're right. It doesn't mean go into a toast and think that so since Hashem loves me anyway, so it doesn't matter what I do. Like I can do whatever I want. I could spill orange juice all over the floor if I feel like it, and my Father doesn't care. No, it doesn't go like that. Your Father gets upset, but He loves you. You have to realize that. He doesn't mean to do any affair in the world. Like we were flying to Uman, so then. From Eretz Yisrael, it's like the whole plane is like Breslov is. It's like mamish crazy. So then the guy, the steward, he's like an Israeli guy, like an average Tel Aviv Yid. So he comes so the guys, they were like, he's schmoozing and this, that. So he keeps on pounding mind. They're like, they start schmoozing with him and they get into conversations. Everyone's smiling, very nice. And after a while, they're like, yeah, why don't you just throw a kippah on your head? You look so nice. You look even better with a kippah. So the guy's like, he's like, what? He's like, this style they talk very like, what? You think Hashem won't love me if I don't wear a kippah? Hashem won't, like, it's like, so it's like, it's a good time, I know. You hear like, well, he's a Yid. You know what I mean? But you have to realize, in general, you can't go off with that svara. You can't use that svara to do averas. You can't say, Kadosh Baruch Hu loves me anyway, so it doesn't matter what I do. No. If you realize how much Hashem loves you and that you're a prince and you're so beloved, then you should act accordingly. You should want to make your Abba happy because you know that He's happy from these things. That if you do these things, He becomes happy.
He loves you, but he'll love
Yeah.
you from far away. And
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to, like, cut you off. You could even do tshuva, right? Even if he says, okay, get out of here, you can do tshuva, you can come back. But you know you could be mesameach your Abba, right? It's a mitzvah ki v'lav ha'em.